here's an article that I thought was great. And so it's from the drum, why we are exhausted and what we need to fix first. So here at Brick Marketing, we offer, three different types of our business. We have the services, we have the training, but then we also have consulting. And when we say consulting, we've done like hourly consulting for clients, stuff like that. But we've also we offer a fractional CMO service. And what that is we're almost like a part-time chief marketing officer for companies that need that strategic guidance. And what I thought this was fascinating with this article is specifically, it says that, why marketers are exhausted. And I hear you, right? Like we wear many hats as marketers. We do. Like we have to be able to, at least on our end as marketers, think of the short term and long term at the same time, understand the strategic focus throughout. All these new marketing mediums, with everything related to AI, we need to ramp up fast on everything. So I understand why marketers are exhausted. And what's interesting is, this article gives advice to chief marketing officers or marketing strategists of how to realign their workload and prevent burnout and prevent from being exhausted. And several key points where I think really resonated with me, which I thought were very, very interesting, is it says, one is it says the CMO who knows the direction of travel and is truly connected to the CEO. I think that's number one. I mean, you have to be connected. If you're a CMO, a fractional CMO, VP of marketing, even a director of marketing, you need to be connected direct to management of that company to know exactly where the ship is headed, right? And if you don't agree with where the ship is heading, that's not your place to disagree with it. Your place is to embrace it and help those, goals come true, essentially, from a strategic marketing perspective, from a sales perspective, from a lead gen perspective. So that's our job as marketers. So, but by being aligned with the C-suite helps reduce that level of exhaustion. Another is a leadership team aligned on what actually matters. Part of our job as strategic marketers, and this goes for CMOs, marketing managers, it goes for agencies like us, is education, right? We assume that a president of a company, a CEO of a company is a marketing person, and they're not. They're not marketers. They don't care enough. I mean, they do care, obviously, it's their company, but they don't care about the details enough to want to know the nuances of every minuscule detail of why something is happening. So it's our job as marketers to help educate the C-suite in a positive manner that gives them just to be able to isolate just what they need to know to help get the mission accomplished, the goals achieved, and us as marketers to help us do our job successfully as well, to reduce friction so we can keep things moving. So that's what those are some of the things that things. Another thing that said, I'm going to talk about this one because there's two other points. One, it said stable goals that anchor short-term pivots. I thought that was great because goals from a C-suite need to be stable. But so how many times, we've worked with clients, we've worked with hundreds of clients that, that are C-suite, owners of companies, presidents, CEOs, CFOs, mid-sized companies, larger companies, and they'll come in and say, well, we want you to do this, X. And sometimes that X, what they ask you to do, isn't really mission critical, doesn't really fit into the underall goals that you've been tasked with. So as marketers, we need to be able to do that without abandoning the things that are really important and not just shifting all our attention away from the things that are actually important. Last thing is the context behind change, not the change itself. Don't get bent out of shape if you're a marketer of changes need to happen. Change is part of what we do. It's evolving, it's adjusting, it's changing, especially in the age of AI. But, we have to understand the context behind it, but not just like the change. Like we need to understand why something is happening. So these are some points that this article said. It's a great article. It's one that's unique that I don't often see a lot talked about for marketers and C-suite, CMO level marketers. So I thought it was great. So Catherine and John, if you guys could chime in on this, what do you guys think? Can't hear you, Catherine. Yeah, we can't hear you. John, while she's getting sorted, what do you think on this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like definitely right now things are just like so quick that you constantly need to be, learning, reading articles, coming up with new solutions, and it can be exhausting for sure. Even as somebody who is, only who's in, I'm in school, and my books from last semester are on different topics, or saying completely different things from the books that I'm reading this semester, so
Right,
it's exhausting to keep up. But I mean, it's I think it's just a time. It's like kind of at its height. I think eventually it'll slow back down again,
right.
and once you know everything that you need to know,
Then
you'll
there's more stuff to know, John. I'll
well,
tell
there's
you
more
from
stuff to
experience.
know, but
We always
maybe it's
learn.
not
We
maybe
always
it's not
learn.
500 new things a day, maybe it's
Yeah,
100
I
new
know.
things a
I
day.
know. I know. I know. I know. Absolutely. All right, let's move on.